flipping back the calendar to highlight yesteryear's finest while exploring the vast archives in cinema history. This is the Movie Review Rewind podcast on Nashville Movie Dispatch. Welcome back for another episode of the Movie Review Rewind podcast right here on Nashville Movie Dispatch. You can check out all of our work at nashvillemoviedispatch.substack.com. I'll be your host for the show, the EIC at Sobros Network, Big Natural, Stoney Keeley. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Add me on Facebook. Follow me on Letterboxd. I'm just at Stoney Keeley. I think Instagram, I'm at Stoney Keeley 615. It's the only time I've ever tried to take the Stoney Keeley username and somebody else already had it, was on Instagram.
Have you ever looked to see who had it?
No, but I should.
And
I should threaten that person.
Like, who could have at Stoney Keeley? That's very specific.
My guess is that it's somebody. Are you okay?
I'm sorry. I just swallowed my tooth.
Just turn your oxygen on there. I'm guessing it's somebody named Keeley that thinks Stoney is a funny nickname. But I mean,
that's still really
it's specific. Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't even think that Facebook was a thing anymore. I left a while
It's really not, to be honest. I honestly don't know why I even put our work on Facebook
Well, I'm
going
to tell you, you did find out about our high school reunion.
That's true.
And if it was not for Facebook, if you didn't tell me about it, I would not know we had it.
Yeah.
So,
well, maybe it's still good for something.
I'm on Twitter and Letterboxd.
I'll tell you what Facebook is good for. It's good for Marketplace.
Yes.
Because my wife sends me stuff all the time that's like, here's this gigantic cabinet for $50. Do you want to go get it?
Let me tell you something. They go quick, from what I understand.
They do. Yeah.
But yeah, I left it long ago, and I don't. I don't miss it.
You all right? He drops his phone.
No, my balls dropped.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah, I'm getting 40.
Yeah, that's what happened. That people don't tell you enough about that. Your balls drop when you hit puberty, but then they drop again when you hit 40.
Right. This is a cool story, and I'll share it. And it's fine.
This is Brandon Vick, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Do you want to do the regular intro?
He's a board member of the Music City Film Critics Association. He's a member of the Southeastern Film Critics Association, and he's our resident film critic here on Nashville Movie Dispatch.
Thank you.
Mr. Big Shot himself.
I was, as I've gotten older, I've had, sometimes I feel like my legs kind of hurt. I got a foot massager for Christmas, and let me tell you. My wife,
massager?
Yeah, my wife
uses like one of those things, like you put your feet in, and
and it has 3 different things it does, and then you can, it's like a green, yellow, and red is like the most it digs in, and I only do red because I have arthritis in one foot, and it makes a world of difference.
You know those the tin metal buckets that old people in movies, like old movies. Like they sit and they soak their feet in.
Yeah.
I got one of those for Christmas a few years ago, and it is one of the best Christmas gifts I've ever received. It is. It's one of those like you plug in, and then it bubbles a little bit, so it's like a jacuzzi for your feet. And I just remember,
the jet.
I just think of 8 Crazy Nights when the two old people, they sit in their chairs with their feet soaking.
Whitey and his sister.
That's me with that bucket. And I never would have thought, when I was younger, I used to think that kind of stuff is so lame. There's nothing that feels as good on a Friday night as just soaking your feet in a tub of hot water.
I have had that foot massager on when I've watched a movie. I've had it on when I've been reading, because I've been earlier this year I was doing Project Hail Mary, trying to finish that before the movie came out. But something was going on, and we were getting ready for bed, and I was doing something, and my leg or something hurt, so I had lifted my leg up. Didn't realize that my sack was showing. Okay. And my wife was very surprised by this, and I said, honey, I'm approaching 40 years old.
40?
I don't know what's going to happen from here.
The only thing I don't like about that is that it does make my thing look smaller if my balls are hanging down. Because you remember when we were kids, we heard the rumor that like if your dick hangs below your balls, you're hung.
You're hung. That's right.
And I had that going for me.
No one accounted for when you get older, and your balls are just going to the floor. There's no question about it.
Yeah. So
we had one friend who was ahead of us and all that.
That's true. Yeah.
But
swing those things around like a helicopter.
Yeah, it would break your nose. And but I told my wife, I'm like, this is 40, babe. I don't know what to tell you.
No, I'm with you.
But what's funny is, and what made me laugh is that I wasn't even paying attention to that because there's something was wrong with my leg. So I felt like that was the bigger issue. But then I realized that there's a good chance my wife and my son are wondering what else is happening. So that's fine. And there's nothing like when your son, which he is 3, where he sometimes, like, he's in the shower with me or he's in the shower with mom, and he'll go, boop, your penis. And I'm like, please don't. Please don't.
It's quite the humbling experience.
And there's times where, like, I'm peeing and he'll come in.
Yeah.
We're like, you have a penis. I'm like, yeah, we're 2 boys. We have penis.
Yeah.
And then he'll talk about mom's parts. But then, not too long ago, he has this big dump truck thing outside.
Yeah.
And he called it a big gina.
Okay.
And was pushing it around. And as soon as you laugh, that's permission. So,
So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
Just digging dirt with his big gina. Basically.
Well, we knew some women back in our day
That's right.
would dig that dirt up with their ginas.
They called her Murda.
Because she give kill a head.
I will never forget that in my life.
We're here to talk about Blazing Saddles today. I don't know. This kind of feels like a fitting intro for this episode. Going back to 1974, music and lyrics by Mel Brooks, of course.
Yeah.
I do feel like this is a movie that, if you're of a certain age, should probably come with a trigger warning that there is some unabashed use of the N-word, unabashed use of homophobic slurs. It is definitely a movie that you put on and say this was made in 1974, for sure.
But it was, and I'm not sure kind of how strange this may sound depending on how old you are, but it was made with the absolute best of intentions to show the hypocrisy, the stupidity of the prejudice and racism and everything. And Mel Brooks was very much a part of it. I mean, he's Jewish, and there's some stuff with Hitler in there as well. So I mean, he's not shying away from anything. And obviously, the whole movie essentially is about kind of this first black sheriff in this all-white town. So, this was your first time watching it, right?
It was. It was my first time watching Blazing Saddles, and it was my first time watching any Mel Brooks movie. This was my introduction to Mel Brooks.
That's which I mean, I think is a fantastic introduction, but that's kind of surprising because I will say I kind of knew about Blazing Saddles. I've seen stuff about Blazing Saddles, but this is the first time I've actually sat and watched it all the way through. And I was thinking, and we were talking about this, like, what was my introduction? And I thought it could have been Young Frankenstein. But actually, I think it was Robin Hood Men in Tights. I think that was the first movie I watched, but I didn't know who Mel Brooks was and what he had accomplished up to that point.
Yeah, and I mean, you go through his filmography, and it's like, oh, okay, well, that's why it became a thing of, oh, this is Mel Brooks' Blazing Saddles.
Yeah.
Brooks'
His name,
History of the
it's
World,
kind of like
Part
that.
1.
M. Night Shyamalan's.
Yeah. So there's so much of his filmography that I kind of wanted to go back through immediately after watching this. Again, like, kind of jarring use of some of the language, but I think to your point, it does kind of highlight, this is not a case where it's, like you said, it's kind of leveraged in the script to kind of highlight the stupidity of the racist white people in this movie.
It's
And
not even in the same way the way Tarantino has used it.
that's a great example. Yeah, it's not even like that. It feels a little more deliberate, but I also understand that, you know, you and I grew up in the 1990s in like rural Nashville, rural Tennessee, where like you'd go down to the grocery store on Saturday and you'd probably hear somebody in the grocery store speaking like this in this film. Grandparents who did not even know that they were saying something horribly offensive. Just that's what it was. So like if you're not exposed to that, I can see how it can make you uncomfortable. But you know,
how brilliant is it to be doing stuff like that in the mid 70s,
1974,
and to bring I don't know if awareness is the right word, but kind of bring it to the forefront of society and how they see it, and then shaping that into also going into what Westerns were leading into the 70s. Because you've seen it like Clint Eastwood and John Wayne, you know, I mean, it had that feel too.
There was a part of it, and this is what kind of caught me off guard, that was like, oh, no one's safe. We're going to we're going to poke fun at the state of America today. We're going to poke fun at this genre. We're going to poke fun at like there's a lot of breaking of the fourth wall and stuff, which from what I've read is like a hallmark of a lot of his movies, a lot of his work. Yeah. But like,
well, especially towards the end where they really kind of pull back the curtain and
goes
go
a little off
force.
the rails.
Yeah.
So, I did think that was interesting, but it did kind of make me pause a little bit and think about all of the years that we've been doing this podcast. We've been doing the Vix Flicks podcast. I cannot believe that this is really the first time that Mel Brooks has come up in a really deep discussion, or the opportunity for us to really deep dive into his work has come up. And I know there was recently a documentary about him that you really liked.
Yeah, Judd Apatow did. It's a two-parter that's on HBO Max.
Is it still up there?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, it's August. So
it's still on HBO Max.
As of, like, it's going to be on HBO
No,
Max?
it premiered on HBO and is on HBO Max. I enjoyed it because there's a lot of stuff I didn't know, and there's only a little bit I did know.
Yeah.
And obviously you have such a great appreciation for it. And like, I knew who Mel Brooks was. I knew he did Blazing Saddles. Young Frankenstein was another film I have seen of his. And then, I don't know who watched it, but there's a Jerry Seinfeld, Comedians in Cars, and there's a part where he visits, and it's, and I almost knew Mel Brooks because of his devoted friendship to Carl Reiner. And they were like the 2,000-year-old man, and the documentary is great, and it goes into it. And so I have a whole newfound appreciation for him. I think besides Young Frankenstein, Robin Hood Men in Tights, and again, I haven't even seen all of Spaceballs. I haven't seen History of the World.
What about Dracula Dead and Loving It?
I think I did, because that has Liam Neeson. Leslie Nielsen in it. I think I did watch that.
Oh, Brooks plays Van Helsing in that movie.
Yeah.
This movie just screams me.
Oh yeah. Oh, you should definitely see it. And that was at 96?
95.
95?
95, yeah.
So,
that's actually the last movie he directed.
And I've seen him in other stuff. I think he's done like voice work too. He's kind of like the Scorsese, where it's very noticeable in that. But that documentary just goes over it. And like, he was married to Anne Bancroft. If people don't know who she is, she's from The Graduate. She's an Oscar winner. And she had died of cancer. And obviously Carl Reiner has passed as well. And he kind of talks about that. And I think he's 98 or something. He's getting up there. And he's currently doing a sequel to Spaceballs, where Rick Moranis has come out of retirement. Bill Pullman is back. He's brought his son Lewis Pullman. Josh Gad is in it, who I think also wrote it. So, I mean, he's kind of full steam ahead. But I think besides the only thing is, I remember watching The Producers, the movie based off of his musical on Broadway that was based off of his movie that he won an Oscar for.
Yeah, 1967, that was his directorial debut. So
Yeah. So
what is like
it's crazy to think about all that, and that, I mean, he really is a comedic genius. And I think Blazing Saddles
and that's
is
the crazy thing is that we watched Blazing Saddles. You had seen it before, right?
No, I
This
had
was
not
your
watched
first
it
time
all the way
watching it?
through.
Okay. So we're watching it for the first time, both almost 40 years old and 52 years after its release.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still laughing my ass off watching this movie.
Oh yeah,
Which
there is so much that
never happens.
And what's crazy is a lot of it is very resonant to what we see today.
Yeah,
and you can even apply it to maybe different things, but it's still there. The hypocrisy of it, the stupidity of it, it's all right there.
Yeah, so like I mean, you think about some of the other comedies of the era. I not too long ago watched Animal House for the first time, and I fucking hated it.
Yeah. And
it was just like,
was it Porky's?
Porky's, like all of that stuff. I'm just like, God, this is like Revenge of the Nerds and stuff like that. I'm just like, this sucks. And then I fire up Blazing Saddles, fully expecting to be like, it's dated, but this is regarded as a classic comedy, like one of the greatest comedies ever made. And I'm watching it and I'm thinking, man, this is fucking good.
Yeah.
This is good shit.
There's nothing like having that, I guess, awareness and understanding of people and society. And you can watch it in 2026. And it was made in the early mid 1970s, and it still clicks. It's still funny. It still brings up valid points of just the way people
relevant.
are and relevancy. Yeah. So what better compliment than something that is that's over 50 years old and still is funny and classic and relevant. Who knew? I mean, I guess it's kind of sad that it's still this way, but at the same time, I think it really shows Mel Brooks' brilliance.
So, I mean, you think about Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, Spaceballs, Robin Hood Men in Tights, all these films. What do you think are the common threads throughout them? What do you think is Mel Brooks' signature as a filmmaker and a storyteller? What are the things that make his movies, his stories kind of stand out in a timeless nature?
I think besides kind of the brilliance behind it with laughs, I think is this profound self-awareness. Yeah. He knows exactly what he's talking about. Mm-hmm. And it's not, and I think you can only make films of the time that you're living in.
Sure.
But just how expansive it really is in the world that we live in, from when he made it to the time that we are, here in it. And I think there's a lot to say about that. And I think a lot of people have tried to do his humor to various degrees of success.
Yeah.
But I think he really understood what was significant within these times, but also like with Blazing Saddles, you're taking very classic genres and kind of flipping it and adding, like you said, like with race and homophobia, like he's injecting so much into something that I don't think you could get away with unless it was a comedy.
Yeah, and it's kind of what I was going to say is like using the genre to kind of like, yes, it's funny and it's entertaining, but it is kind of the most effective form of filmmaking when you're holding the mirror up to the audience.
Yeah. And I will say, I feel like Mel Brooks was, top notch, like being able to do the comedy. I don't think that genre does it as well as it used to on what Mel Brooks was doing.
Yeah.
I think horror has taken its place.
Oh, that's an interesting thought.
Yeah. I think horror has
Yeah.
kind of taken over the reins of that, with a mirror to what it is. And I mean, I think everybody would be like, "Oh, you mean Jordan Peele? He's a fine example of that."
Yeah, very well. The sense I got from Blazing Saddles was the pacing and the timing of the jokes. It was like that's where I felt Mel Brooks had a mastery of this story.
Timing is very important,
He
especially using the language it uses.
Yeah.
You've got to that timing is really, really important.
knowing the exact moment to hit a punchline or pull off a gag, knowing when the story needed that and when it kind of needed to allow the audience to catch its breath, so to speak.
Yeah.
It felt like a very this is going to sound so crazy, which I mean, I'm a football writer, but it's like Mel Brooks is the quarterback that has the sense to take on the pass rush. Like rushers are coming at him, but he knows exactly when that ball needs to come out in order to get a completion to the receiver over the middle. And that's kind of what the sense I got watching this was like, man, this is like a good offensive play caller in a rhythm right now, knowing exactly what play to go to get the maximum effect, to get the biggest gain. It was just like, man, it's really like watching a master at his craft go to work.
Oh yeah, and the cast is all in.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned like Gene Wilder as the Waco Kid. Cleavon, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Cleavon Little as Bart, the railroad worker who becomes the sheriff in Rock Ridge. This would apparently go on to become his like signature performance, but like those guys, like the chemistry between the two of them, I just like I caught myself thinking I want to be in that jailhouse having a bottle of whiskey with these guys.
And there's a thing with Gene Wilder, I think, where I can't remember the story, and it is in that documentary we're talking about, but Gene Wilder kind of came in at last minute, and I don't know if it was added or if something fell through, but basically Gene Wilder told Mel Brooks, like, give me this, I can do this. I can do this role.
Mr. Little was not Mel Brooks' first role for Bart the Sheriff. Do you know who was originally written for?
Who?
I bet if you thought hard enough, you could get it. 1970s comedy, black man.
Pryor.
Richard Pryor. Yeah.
That makes sense.
And it didn't. I don't remember. I read a little bit about it. There was a rumor back in the day that because of Pryor's like drug and alcohol use, they didn't want to. The studio didn't want to finance it. But I think Mel Brooks shot that down at one point. I don't know.
Is this? I'm trying to think. Is this after?
Let me see if I can.
Wilder
find it.
and Pryor have already done their stuff, because I feel like that came later.
I don't
in the 70s and 80s.
I don't know. I mean, this was 74,
Yeah.
so
yeah.
By 2013, it was acknowledged that Brooks had, in fact, abandoned plans to have Pryor star in the film by early 72, with the claim about Pryor being uninsurable because of a drug arrest only being spread by Brooks in the time after Pryor's death in 2005.
Oh, okay.
So Brooks, this is a little spicy. Brooks feared that Pryor would overshadow him.
That Pryor would overshadow Brooks?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. That's interesting.
Yeah, so I thought there was that's what it was. It wasn't that Brooks shot it down. It was that the rumor was that
I mean that does make sense. And
but
Pryor had his issues.
Cleavon Little did a fantastic job.
He did do a fantastic job.
Yeah.
But all those guys, like the governor, or not, that was actually by Mel Brooks, but the mayor,
yeah,
I thought he was good, and a lot of the townspeople within there, that old lady who had quite the sassiness in there,
when they were,
but then apologized, but she said, "Don't tell anybody."
When she was getting punched during that melee, and she's like, "Have you ever seen something so cruel?" And then they just kept beating the fuck out of her.
They had some good stuff. I think one of the best parts was dealing with that mayor, where he's like accounting all these like criminals, and there's a lot of jokes about rape in there too.
Yeah, that's another trigger warning is yeah.
But one of these guys is chewing gum, and he's like, "What do you have in your mouth?" They're looking, and he pulls it out, and he's like, well, do you have enough for everybody? He's like, well, I mean, I didn't know. And they kill him, and then it just goes to Gene Wilder, and he's like, boy, he is strict. Like, there's just so many little things like that. I was telling you where he, before it really kind of goes off the rails, showing that it's on a movie set, that there's this big battle in the town, and like the guy just goes up there and he punches the horse instead of the guy.
Yeah.
But the guy still sells it, and it's very slapstick, but there's also a lot of, just like you said, little one-liners that just they're just, I mean, it's one after another.
It just, I mean, to me, like, physical comedy, I'm curious your opinion on this, because this film does lean into the physical comedy.
Oh, yeah.
It's really like any kind of comedy you can imagine is in Blazing Saddles, but the physical comedy is something that I was thinking about watching this film. Like, is that something that ages, or is that like, when done right, it's just something that's always going to be funny?
Yeah, I think it's something that's always going to be funny, because you know what? When I was watching this, it made me think of, like, funny enough, with like Leslie Nielsen's like Airplane.
Yeah.
And the Naked Gun, like,
oh my God,
and the Hot Shots with Charlie Sheen. Like, it all kind of stems from what he was doing, where like you're in on the joke, and you're in on the joke, but by doing that, there are no rules.
Yeah.
And I think Mel Brooks really understood that before anybody else. And Blazing Saddles, I can't think of a better example of, like, they're not constrained by anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I just wish for the youngsters out there, like, I don't think it's just a coincidence that it's the Western genre that is chosen to do this, because it is as classic Hollywood as anything.
Which is a statement in and of itself.
Right. And then on top of everything else that is being pulled out of it.
Yeah. So, talking about some of our favorite scenes from this, and we're talking a little bit about the melee scene where they're just going through the town, raising all kinds of hell.
Oh, yeah.
Beating up the old lady. But then there was another quick shot in there where they're dragging that guy away through the mud. And he just puts his arms up and he's like, well, that's the end of this suit. And then it just cuts to something else. It's like, it's like a good boxer too, not to go to the sports analogies, but like knowing where to hit you in the right moment. It's just so funny.
What about the sheriff when he pulls the gun on himself and literally walks himself into his office by threatening to kill him and playing like these voices? Like, to me, I think of like Police Academy and stuff like that where like I feel like everybody looked at Mel Brooks and was like, oh, you can get away with that? I think he gave permission to a lot of comedic people. I mean, obviously.
When they gather to make their nefarious plans near the end, and there's like that group together, and some of them have like motorcycle handlebars on the horses.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah.
The
There's somewhere she's singing, I think, is it the German soldiers or French soldiers?
The scene around the campfire I thought was really funny, because it's such a funny Western trope, like the whole beans around the campfire thing, like the masculine urge to go camping and eat beans around a campfire. But then I felt like Mel Brooks finally just addressed the fact that you know that bitch be stinking.
Yeah, which
those
also
dudes are just
makes me
farting
think
like crazy
of those bean commercials where they had those guys around the fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it all, like, it's, yeah.
It's so funny.
It's immature, but it's not stupid.
Yeah. I liked the pie fight scene, too, at the end, because that's another case where it's like, this is so over the top and stupid, but we're just going to lean into it. And
I love the rushing onto different sets, like, clearly, and even, like, having the mayor go into the movie theater, and the movie is Blazing Saddles. Like, it's so one thing on top of another that
the guy says, piss on you, I'm working for Mel Brooks,
and
then punches him in the stomach or in the dick. It might have been in the dick, I don't remember.
No, I think he did punch him in the face.
But a lot of memorable stuff from this, but also, like, I'm not a big musical guy,
but
I felt like this was a case where like the music and the musical numbers in this film were something that really enhanced it, like added a little bit of variety.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Well,
you
that's
can
also
kind
in
of
Mel
see
Brooks's blood.
the theatrical.
But because he's already done the producers, he's already won. You know what I mean? Like it makes sense, but I agree. It really fits to what it's trying to do.
A nice touch that kind of offered a little change of pace throughout the film.
And I love that, like, the ending's perfect.
It is.
Having them on the horses, but then they get off. And it's in like a Cadillac. And they drive like it's exactly how it should.
Some fun facts about this movie, and by facts I'm really just have one.
Okay.
Did you know that Steve McMichael earned the nickname Mongo McMichael, off of the Mongo character in this movie?
I had no idea.
That's why he was called Mongo McMichael.
Wow.
They named him after Mongo from Blazing Saddles.
Oh, but that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, so that's I heard that a while ago, and just never.
Now it makes sense since you've seen the movie.
Never thought anything about it, and then when I watched Blazing Saddles and I saw Mongo, I was like, oh yeah, I think that's the character that Mongo McMichael was nicknamed after.
But I think another great thing that Mel Brooks does, especially in this film, is he really kind of turns these characters. They're not who you think they are. Like, some of them are.
Yeah.
But then there's others that are not. Like, it works with prejudice and racism, but it also surprises you in some of the characters and who you think they might be, and kind of flips it on its head, while you do have, like, your stereotypical ones. But, like, I got a kick when the mayor was like, where's my froggy? I need my froggy. And because it's so ridiculous, but it's got a real, no matter how absurd it seems, or no matter how, like, kooky or whatever it may seem, there's a solid message in this. And while it is funny and it's entertaining, it certainly does paint this picture that you wish it was a joke, but it's real and it does exist. And I mean, it's speaks for right now. So
Blazing Saddles made history and held on to it for quite some time. It was #1 at the box office in 1974 and released in February, which how often do we see that? Obviously not a lot.
Yeah.
Held that distinction for 44 years until another movie released in February was the #1 movie of that year. It was 2018. Do you remember?
As like how long it was #1?
No, it was the year's #1 movie at the box office.
Oh, okay, got it. And it held it for, so Blazing Saddles was #1.
Was the only movie released in February to be that year's #1 movie at the box office until 2018, when
something else came out in February.
Something else was released in February that was #1 for the year.
In 2018?
Yeah, 2018.
And it did come out in February and was the #1?
The #1 movie of 2018 at the box office. Got a surprising Best Picture nomination at the Oscars. Movies like this don't typically get nominations at the Oscars, but fantastic performance. Very good movie. Also,
it's not Get Out, is it?
It's not Get Out.
I can't remember if it was 2018.
No.
Okay. Can I have one more hint?
Well,
not that totally gives it away.
I'll tell you this. People have said about this genre of film that it is what Westerns used to be for Hollywood.
Oh.
People listening to this are just screaming the answer.
Are they?
I know they are.
I'm also trying to take myself back to February.
Massive cultural hit.
In February?
February of 2018.
2018, and got a surprise Best Picture nomination.
Out of a genre that is not often recognized by the awards givers. A genre that is a lot of fine actors have cut their teeth in,
Yeah.
like the westerns.
I feel like
of,
it's horror.
No.
No? Okay. Comedy?
No.
It's the westerns of today.
The westerns of today. Heroes and villains.
Superhero.
2018.
Okay. I'm
I'm
on it.
so shocked that
I'm on it now.
I'm so shocked that you have.
I just
not
don't
got
think
this.
I realized it came out in February. Maybe.
We are at a point where I should probably just. Say
Yeah.
it,
Go
'cause
ahead.
It's Black Panther.
Damn it.
Black Panther.
Why do I feel like 2018 sounds so long ago? But they have done 2 sequels, or I mean, they've done a sequel as well. But yeah, damn it, that's an easy one. Shoot, but yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a film that has stood the test of time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Roger Ebert called it a crazed grab bag of a movie that does everything to keep us laughing, except hit us over the head with a rubber chicken.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I was very, very pleasantly surprised by this.
I was too.
I think as we've gone back and watched some of the older movies like this,
I think of like Citizen Kane.
well, to me, like Blazing Saddles and The Sting are the only 2 movies that I've watched from like 50 plus years ago or whatever that I've been like, damn, that rules. I want to watch that again. And Nosferatu. Yeah, those 3.
I think that's something like it's been such a part of movie culture that when you actually just sit down and watch it, sometimes and it's not even the film's fault. It's just it doesn't hit you the same way. The time it was released, I mean, it's very tough. But this one, it really hasn't. Hey, like that is a it's a comedy masterpiece. It is very. It's as classic as it gets, but it also does, like you said, it's very timeless.
Yeah.
And I don't think Mel Brooks did it because of that. And I think sometimes maybe it's kind of a shame that it is like that. But it still made me laugh. It's my kind of humor. And it also made me realize just how many movies saw that and thought, I'll give it a try. And some, like I said,
sure.
Airplane, like other things did happen and they were a success, but it just goes to show you that Mel Brooks was very in tune with what he thought was funny and what would work. And more so than not, he was right, which is why he is the comedy icon genius that he is. And he's an EGOT and, he's still working at, I think he's almost 100 years old.
Man, wild. Well, that's all the notes I have on Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, no, I'm glad we did it.
Fitting way to end the episode here.
I'm glad we saw it.
Any parting shots?
No.
Do you have a star rating for this one?
I'd probably give it 3.5 or 4.
I was about to say, I think I might lean 4 on this.
Yeah.
Which reminds me I need to do that.
It means a lot for a genre like this, but also to tackle the things that it does and the way that it does it, because it could easily come off as clownish, but there's a sophistication to it all. And I think that's kind of the beauty of what Mel Brooks has been able to do, which, funny enough, I don't know if people know this, but fun fact, one of his sons is Max Brooks, who wrote World War Z.
Is that right?
That is correct.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's going to do it for us. This has been another episode of Movie Review Rewind on Nashville Movie Dispatch. Remember to check out all of our work at nashvillemoviedispatch.substack.com. He's Brandon, I'm Stoney, and until next time, you stay classy, moviegoers.